Downtown Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada, as you take a look at the bustling city, and all the fans are piling into Legion Field, where we got a good one in store as the quarterfinals are hot and heavy, as this one is a matchup between the South Division champs, Fort Worth Toros, and the Pacific Division champs, the Vancouver Legion. Baltimore's already punched their ticket to the SFL semifinals. After the game, after this one, only 2 spots are going to be up for grabs. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, Simulation Football fans. I'm Jeff Melanishin, and joining me for this quarterfinal matchup is Ramos Lynn. Ramos, these teams are coming in very similar on offense and defensive rankings. How do you see this game shaping out?
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to get 106 points like the game that just passed, Jeff, but I think it's going to be a lot of offense. This is a team in the Legion that is #1 in points per game. And Fort Worth, even though they have a very particular style of offense, always with a fullback, a couple of tight ends, they are one of the most explosive teams in the SFL. Cameron Curtis is probably the offensive rookie of the year going against potential MVP candidate in Tom Pepper.
This should be an interesting one as well. But who are you looking for some keys to the games for both of these teams?
I think they're both quarterbacks, Jeff. I think it's going to be a matter of whether Cameron Curtis can continue to be good with the football as far as not throwing interceptions. He only threw 19 in the season, which was the least in the SFL. And as far as Tom Pepper goes, he's one of the best quarterbacks, most productive ones in the league this season.
Yeah, definitely shaping up to be a really good matchup here between these two teams. Both teams coming in 8-4, but with Fort Worth getting their win last week in the playoffs, bumping it up to 9-4. And we are underway from Legion Field as Fort Worth will get the ball to start, and a good return up to the 33-yard line. And we will see Cameron Curtis in his first go-around here on the season. He's 293 for 399 passing-wise, 3,137 yards, a 73.4 completion percentage, and then 19 touchdowns and 19 interceptions. And he'll start in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the top of the formation for him. And he's got Jason Williams lined up to his left. He takes the shotgun snap, first throw across the middle, but it's batted away. And Mark Lopez there in the vicinity to lay a big hit.
You know, this is something that Fort Worth does extremely well. They normally don't have like 5 wide receivers on the field or anything, but with the packages that they involve, they can throw the ball deep on some deep posts and corner, and that's why they are so explosive.
As you take a look at Stephen Hacker making his way into the outside formation, up at the top of the formation. Cameron Curtis under center, Chris Komisek and Jason Williams in the backfield. Short little drop back and throwing it to the sidelines, but just leading his receiver Hacker a little too much, and it's out of bounds. And just like that, 2 plays, and it's a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Cameron Curtis is actually top 5 in the SFL in completion percentage as we take a look at the numbers. As you said, 3,100 yards for Cameron Curtis. Tom Pepper, we'll see him in a little bit, almost 4,300 yards, and a candidate for MVP.
Yeah, it was awesome just going through these quarterback stats for both of these teams. As Curtis looking across the middle, he fires it into traffic, and it's caught. And just like that, that's Lauren Percoco making her first grab of this quarterfinal matchup and gets the first down into Fort Worth 49-yard line.
Everybody was there on that side of the field, and it was just basically a matter of who was going to come up with it. And luckily for Fort Worth, it was one of their guys.
So first down and 10. Now the fullback draw up the middle, only a pickup of 1 on the play. We'll go with the starters for Fort Worth. Quarterback Cameron Curtis, the backfield of Jason Williams and Chris Komisek, and then the receiving core of Cade Stevens and Stephen Hacker. The tight ends, Robert Gare Jr. and Lauren Percoco. So 2nd down and 9 for Cameron Curtis. Now the ball at midfield. Drop it back 7 steps. We'll fire it underneath to Jason Williams. He's had a big game last week. And here starting off fresh, and that's a pickup of 5.
Yeah, Jason Williams on the season, more than 1,200 yards, almost 5 yards per carry. That was 6th best in the SFL, as well as 12 touchdowns. Chris Komisek is a nice spell guy. Did not get many yards, but I think he can give Jason Williams a little bit of a breather here and there.
3rd and 5, looking to convert another 3rd down. Hit as he throws, but it is caught. Great vision and awareness from Steven Hacker as he makes the grab, and that's a 1st down, and they're going to hurry it up.
I'm not sure about hurrying it up here.
Hand off to Jason Williams. He's going to go up the middle. He's going to pick up 4 on the play, and just like that, Fort Worth going back. They're seeing something in this defense that they want to take advantage of. Drop it back short. Throwing it, but almost ill-advised, and that could have been an interception. But Kyler Murray gets the deflection anyway, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6. Still staying in the formation and wanting to hurry it up. Curtis pump fakes as he throws, looking into double coverage, and almost intercepted. Incomplete as Mark Lopez there for another pass deflection. He's been all over the field to start this quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, Vancouver is ready for it. They're countering with a nickel defense, so that has an extra defensive back. And they were just, looking for that pass, and now Sicario is going to try to cook a field goal. It seems that the wind is on his back, so he should have no problems kicking this one through the uprights.
Yeah, the weather here in Vancouver, 54 degrees. So 4th down and 6. There it is. Yeah, southeast wind at 5 miles per hour as Taco Sicario with the leg from 48 yards out. One of the more personality-wise for the kickers, as that one is knocked through the uprights and gives Fort Worth the early 3-0 lead here in Vancouver.
Yeah, but a good half stand right there for the Legion. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Both offenses, again, top 7 in the league in points per game. And I think that if you can get those half stops, it's going to be crucial by the end of this game.
So the 10-play, 35-yard drive is capped off with a Taco Sicario field goal. As the kick is away from Sicario, it's going to be fielded just inside the 5-yard line and making the return up to the 25. So now we'll see what Tom Pepper has in store, as with his 4,256 passing yards, a 72.4 completion percentage, 25 touchdowns, and 28 interceptions on the season.
Yeah, also 22 sacks, which is midway through the pack, but this Fort Worth rush is no joke.
4 down defensive lineman for Fort Worth as Tom Pepper dropping back. Will fire it, batted up in the air and incomplete. Looking for Kendra Hall out on the sideline up at the top, but it's batted away by Nacho Sicario.
Yeah, both teams trying to get some chunk yards going deep on their first play, and those were 2 incompletions. So let's see if they give the ball here to Robert Redford, 4th in the league actually in rushing yards this season.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Redford is actually to the left of Tom Pepper. Takes a shotgun snap, looking towards the sidelines. And there it is, finds the veteran Brett Killian for his first grab, as he has 87 receptions, 1,181 yards, and 8 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, he's clearly the number 1 guy, even though Kendra Hall averaged more yards per catch and had also 8 touchdowns. Brett Killian is for sure the guy who gets about 8 to 10 targets every game.
Looking to make some history in this game as well, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Handoff to Robert Redford, goes up the middle, and just like that, that's only going to be a short pickup on the play. And just like that, a 3-play and out for Vancouver here, and the defense for Fort Worth really locked in here early.
Yeah, that's David Horrell with the tackle, and surprising kind of play call right there for the Legion. They needed 5 yards, and I know that Robert Redford is number 1 in the league, averaging 6 yards per carry, but that was a little bit bold by them.
Yeah, we were talking about this when we were a little bit just planning for this game, Ramos, and Vancouver coming in 2nd in the league with 60% conversion on 3rd downs, and they're starting out 0 for 1.
Yeah, and with an interesting play call again. Normally 3rd and 5, you like to throw the ball, maybe a quick slant or a quick out or something, and try to pick it up that way, but trying to surprise the Fort Worth defense, and it didn't work.
The defensive lineman for Vancouver moving around on this play before the snap. Curtis, all sorts of time, but that time runs out and he is going to be sacked on the play by Gerald Giudice.
Gerald Giudice with 8.5 sacks this season, 16 tackles for loss, easily beats his man one-on-one and drops Cameron Curtis for a sack. And again, Cameron Curtis only got sacked 18 times this year, which was 6th less in the entire SFL.
So now it brings up a 2nd and 14 as it looks like press as the corners come down. As Curtis looking to bark out some signals. Going to throw it to Williams out of the backfield. Has to readjust, but makes the nice grab. And gets those 4 yards back that they lost on that sack. And now it's going to set up a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, nice double team tackle right there by the Legion defense. And this is the tricky part, Jeff. Even though they can throw the ball deep out of this tight set on a 3rd and 10, let's see if they can dial in the correct play call. They have 2 wide receivers.
The defensive line moving around before the snap again as Curtis, he will be hit and he is going to be sacked. The 2nd sack on this drive, and that is going to force a punt as Achilles Papatanis gets a sack, and that's his 4th of the season.
Yeah, quiet season for Papatonis, just in favor of Giudice and Coverson, but as you said, it's his 4th sack of the season and crucial one to give Vancouver the ball back.
As Andy in chat says, the Greek freak, as the Greek nightmare, and that one's going to be punted away, almost blocked. As Vancouver will get the ball, a little bit better field position than they had to start at their own 26 now with the return. By Dean Maddox. So we've already seen 2 drives here by both teams. What do you want to see here for Vancouver on this 2nd drive?
Involve Robert Redford, I think. But early, like on 1st and 2nd down. They tried it on 3rd down, and that was okay, but try to give them the ball on 1st and 2nd down. They go empty, though.
Vancouver coming in first with yards per game with 464 as their average throughout the season. 1st down and 10, empty set for Pepper, and the slant route works to perfection, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, it's a wide receiver, Andy Hamilton. The young wide receiver for the Vancouver Legion had a pretty good season, especially last week. 4 catches, 145 yards in their win against Los Angeles. It was actually 2 weeks ago, final week of the regular season.
Vancouver getting one of the buys. Probably happy that they didn't have to play last week. So 1st down and 10 to their own 38. Pepper throw it to Redford out of the backfield, but he's going to be hit and dropped on the play for a loss of 1, as none other than E.K. Vincent going all over the place and getting his 1st tackle for loss of the game.
Robert Redford led all players for Vancouver in receptions, actually, this season with 92 catches, only 530 yards. But he can be productive when you give him some space.
2nd and 11, Tom Pepper under center. Drop it back 5 steps. He's going to sling the rock, but it's going to be intercepted on the sidelines as Fort Worth getting the ball right back. Nacho Sicario notches the interception.
Yeah, and Tom Pepper tried to go for it all, and it was just bracket coverage, which means that 1 defender is on each side of the receiver. And whatever way he goes, if he goes inside, the safety's got him. If he goes outside, the corner's got him. And that's an interception. Great play by Fort Worth.
And I'm sure for the quarterback, you want him to lead the receiver in that one. It looked like a little bit of an underthrow for Tom Pepper. And then before you know it, with that blanket coverage, it is an interception. So 1st down and 10 for Fort Worth. Curtis will hand it off to Jason Williams, his 1st handoff of the game. 2nd, as he goes for a nice pickup of 9 on the play.
Yeah, really nice play right there for Jason Williams. As you can see, last week, 261 yards. He was unstoppable. More than a 1st down every time he touched the ball. 3 touchdowns. And his brilliant performance.
Yeah, most rushing yards in the playoffs since Reggie Streeter, I believe, last season. Man, so what a game for Jason Williams, and I know that Andy and the coaching staff for the Vancouver Legion have been looking to stop that run, and they get the sack there. Giudice with another one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, that's going to be half a sack for Giudice as he was combining. And that's the 3rd sack for the Legion. Again, Curtis was only sacked 18 times in 12 games. So that's 1.5 sacks a game, and that was the third one, and we are just in the first quarter.
So 3rd and 6. Curtis dropping it back, moving around in the pocket, but throwing it, looking for Stephen Hacker, but it's incomplete. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, just nothing there. I mean, I was looking at the running backs down low, and nobody was open. It was either that or take another sack, so at least they can punt the ball away and try to pin the Legion deep.
If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game all into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL website, visit the website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. And now Vancouver will start at their own 16-yard line, backed up, and 4 minutes left to go in the very quick-moving first quarter.
Yeah, now going with 3 wide receivers and an offset formation. Let's see if they run a stretch play here.
Fullback and Robert Redford in the backfield. Short drop for Tom Pepper, throwing it, almost intercepted. Would have been his second, but it's incomplete. Defense was there by David Harrell, the middle linebacker, knocking that one away, bringing up 2nd down. We'll get the starters for the Vancouver Legion on offense. Tom Pepper, the quarterback, Robert Redford, the halfback, the receiving core, Brett Killian, Kendra Hall, and Andy Hamilton. Then the tight ends of James Walters and Dan Daly. 2nd down and 10. Now 2-by-2 set for Tom Pepper. Redford to his right. Pepper taking the shotgun snap, looking, but is batted up in the air yet again by David Horrell, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Wow. Yeah, and David Horrell, a couple of seasons back, he was actually the #1 pick in the SFL rookie draft, and right there you see why. He's just as good as in the run that he is on the pass, and 3rd and very long 10 for the Legion here.
David Horrell coming in with 14 pass deflections on the season, and just here he gets number 16 on 2 back-to-back plays. 3rd down and 10, though. Pepper, play action. Pocket starting to collapse, throws as he's hit, and he finds Killian. The magic of the veteran Tom Pepper. 1st down and 10 to the Vancouver 29.
Yeah, that's how you get some momentum right there, as Brett Killian was running all across the field. I mean, he started from his X position, which is down low, outside the numbers, and he had to cross the entirety of the field to get that catch for a 1st down.
Delaney Nash was the one trying to tip the pass, diving for it, but couldn't get it, and it falls into the hands of Brett Killian. So now to their own 29, 1st down and 10. Handoff to Redford up the middle, and he's going to gain 4 yards before he's going to be put down to the Vancouver Legion turf.
Yeah, 2nd and 6 coming up. I will run it again with Redford actually on this play. You just got 4 yards. There's no need to throw the ball deep or anything like that. Just give him the ball again and see if you can pick up another 3 or 4.
Rushing yards per game, Vancouver coming in 5th, averaging 110 yards per game on the ground coming into this one. So 2nd and 6, handoff to Redford yet again, and he's going to gain 2 yards and bring the ball up to the 35 before being tackled by E.K. Vincent.
Yeah, now on a 3rd and 4, I will throw right here, because even though you have one of the best backs in the SFL, you want to make sure the ball crosses that yellow line. And I will put the ball in the air.
1 for 2 on 3rd down so far, 50% clip. Handoff to Redford. He's got another 1st down and a whole lot of green. A nice spin move gets the ball to the 48-yard line as Redford looks like he's getting his motion going.
Yeah, great way to seal the edge by the left tackle right there. Yeah, and also the wide receivers actually doing a phenomenal job. Brett Killian and Kendra Hall with the block.
So a nice run by Robert Redford. Now has 4 carries for 25 yards on the season, or on the game, excuse me. 1st down and 10 to the Vancouver 48. Pepper now under center. Driving back 5 steps, looking to Redford out of the backfield, hauls it in, taking some bodies with him, and a pickup of 7 on the play. And Vancouver now with the momentum as you take a look at the comparisons between Jason Williams and Robert Redford, 2 of the better running backs in the league.
Yeah, Jason Williams was a fullback converted running back. Played a little bit in Oklahoma City, now with Fort Worth, having probably his best season of his career. A very productive back.
There's Redford yet again, another catch, another spin, and another first down to this time to the Fort Worth 39-yard line. We'll get the starters on defense for Fort Worth here. The defensive line of Joey Schwitt, Gary Marks, and Catherine Horrell. The linebackers of David Horrell, J.L. Browning, and E.K. Vincent make up the linebacking core. The secondary of Adam Leach, Aiden Davis, Nacho Sicario, Blake Prine, Ben Stone, and Delaney Nash, the secondary. First down and 10. Handoff to Redford up the middle, and he's got 7 yards before he's even touched.
Yeah, the offensive line of Vancouver really dominating in the last, 3-4 plays. And Forward's defense needs to try to get a play behind the line of scrimmage. Probably put a safety down low to stop the bleeding. Look for another swing pass.
The last 30 seconds of the first quarter. Tom Pepper, 5-step drop, and a nice little throw out wide to Redford. Tries to make the spin, but is going to be tackled on the play by Adam Leach.
Yeah, good stop right there, making sure he doesn't get the first down marker. If I'm Vancouver, I'm just letting the first quarter come to an end, and I'm coming back with more Robert Redford.
And that's going to do it for the end of the first quarter. The Forward Toros on top 3-0, but Vancouver is driving. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this. You're watching the SFL quarterfinals on Next Level Sports. Back to Legion Field for the start of the second quarter. I'm Jeff Melanishin. Broadcast partner is Ramos Lynn. And thanks to Mark Lopez doing stats for us. And a handoff to Robert Redford is not going to work because the defense swarms to the football. Joey Schwitt comes up and makes a big-time tackle on a big-time player. Looks like Vancouver might try to go for it here on 4th and 1, and they will. Hand off to Redford, spin move. He's got enough for the first down. The guts on the Vancouver Legion on this drive, coming up big, and a first down for Vancouver to the 28. First down and 10. Empty set now for Tom Pepper. 3 receivers to the bottom of the formation, 1 to the top. Pepper looking, off the hands of Kendra Hall and incomplete. Try to go back to that slant route, but it just winds up a little short as Adam Leach coming down and making a nice hit to jar the ball loose as you take a look on replay. Delaney Nash there as well to deliver a shot to Kendra Hall coming across the middle. So second and 10 upcoming now for Vancouver. Tom Pepper under center, 2 receivers to the bottom of the formation, 1 to the top. But it's going to be a handoff to Redford, and he's going to be hit in another TFL, tackle for loss in the backfield. JL Browning getting in there for the tackle and the tackle for loss. So now marking him 1 yard back behind the original line of scrimmage for 3rd and 11. So now to the forward 30-yard line. Pepper with a 2x2 set look here on 3rd and 11. Throwing it across the middle, batted up in the air. And it's caught by the Vancouver Legion. 1st and goal. Kendra Hall, right place, right time.
Wow, Vancouver just cannot do anything wrong in this drive. I mean, it took a while for their offense to get going, but that should have been intercepted, and somehow Kendra Hall gets a 1st and goal.
What a play by Kendra Hall. So 1st and goal. Pepper to Hall. Touchdown, Vancouver Legion. And Ramos, that is how you drive. That's how you mark up a great drive and getting the momentum back on your side as Tom Pepper leads the Legion downfield and having the cojones to go for it on 4th and 1 and converting it with Robert Redford, a tipped reception by Kendra Hall, and then you reward her to get into the end zone.
Yeah, and that's a drive that Vancouver actually really needed. The offense was not looking very good, and now we have the lead.
16 play, 89-yard drive, resulting in a 9-yard touchdown pass to Kendra Hall. And Legion now with the lead, 7-3. But man, I mean, if you want to talk about just these 2 teams, they are literally number 1 in almost any statistical category that you can look at.
Yeah, definitely 2 of the best teams in the SFL, and that's exactly what. One is number 4, one is number 5 in the entire league.
So the kick is away. Now Fort Worth will get the ball back, and we'll see what they can do. 1st down and 10. They'll start at their own 29-yard line.
I think you have to get Jason Williams involved. Try to slow the pace of the game because Vancouver was just in the field for far too long. So you just want to have the ball in your possession.
So 1st and 10. Cameron Curtis under center. He's got Jason Williams in the backfield. 2x2 set look for the receivers. Short drop, will look and fires it, and he has a completion. And that's going to be a pickup of 7 on the play to Cade Stevens, who makes his return to Vancouver.
Yeah, it was one of the best wide receivers for Vancouver in their early days in their franchise history, and he's been a very productive player with the Fort Worth Toros this season.
Yeah, and also the Percoco family with Michael and Lauren going head-to-head, and also the first meeting between these 2 franchises. Should be a good one. Storylines all around this one, and a handoff to Jason Williams goes up the middle, but Judas Essie has other plans and other ideas and bringing up a 3rd and 2.
And the whole playbook is wide open right now in this 3rd and 2. You can run the ball with Williams. You can throw the ball short. Basically anything is open for you.
We'll see what Fort Worth decides to do as Curtis dropping back, going to fire it on the corner route. Caught by Hacker. sidelines. No one's going to catch him to the end zone. Go Stephen Hacker. The Toros regain the lead in Vancouver.
Yeah, what a play right there. And this is basically what I was saying before the game and the pregame is this team has just such an ability for throwing the ball deep and getting explosive plays, even though they line up in basically run formations all the time. Stephen Hackett gets the ball and nobody can catch him.
Taking advantage of Ashley Rose Finch. Just couldn't get over in time. And then a couple minutes later, Stephen Hacker is waltzing into the end zone and doing CPR on the football. But Fort Worth regains the lead. So a 3-play, 71-yard drive resulting in a 63-yard pass from Cameron Curtis to Stephen Hacker. But Ramos, we talked about this, just the growth that we've seen from Cameron Curtis this season, and now we're seeing it in the playoffs. He's virtually grown up before our eyes.
Yeah, and he's a quarterback that can also run the ball a little bit. We haven't seen it in this game, but if you give him the opportunity, he can go and scramble for a few yards as well.
As Taco Sicario knocks the extra point through, it's now 10-7. So back to a 3-point lead for Fort Worth as Taco's got the ball on the tee and he boots this one away. Gonna be fielded inside the 5-yard line by Dean Maddox and returned out to the 26-yard line.
And Vancouver had a really good drive last drive, and they were able to finally get everything that they had in their playbook. They just threw in the swing passes, the runs to the outside. They were able to be very diverse, and I think they will continue to do so here in this drive.
So first down and 10. Pepper, short drop, throwing it to Kendra Hall on the slant route, and it's going to be 2nd and inches. So nice little throw on first down for Tom Pepper, who's now 10 of 15 for 83 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception to his name thus far. With 7:24 left to go in the second quarter of play. Defensive line for Fort Worth here adjusting before this snap. Pepper dropping back 5 steps, all sorts of time, throws it, yeah, 2nd interception. Fort Worth has the ball. It's going to be a pick 6. Touchdown. Oh no. He was strutting on him as well going into the end zone. Ben Stone. Ben Stone just reading that play. Looking for Brent Killian was Tom Pepper. And then Killian dive attempt could not corral Ben Stone, who showboats his way into the end zone for a pick 6. And now Fort Worth with 14 unanswered points. And we'll see Taco Sicario come on to attempt the extra point. Snap is down, kick is on the way, and Sicario knocks it through the uprights. It's now 17-7 as the stadium in Vancouver has just gone completely silent. You can hear a pin drop in this place.
And just like that, I mean, this is just how Fort Worth can just put you in a hole where you cannot escape. We had to face them this season, and I know for sure that offense is just too good and too explosive, and you cannot blink.
Man, but what an interception! We knew that Tom Pepper coming into this game, there might be some turnovers. I mean, with 28, when you're leading the league coming in and into a playoff game, I mean, the defenses and it seems like every play just notches it up a little bit play after play, and we're seeing it here. But hopefully Tom Pepper could corral himself here. Maybe just needed something to just go back to the sidelines, just recoup before you come out here on this next drive as he takes the empty set shotgun snap. He's going to throw it deep. Another interception by Tom Pepper. back-to-back. Ben Stone with his second.
Yeah, and this can be like a snowball effect. When you get in this situation, you allowed another touchdown, first play, you get intercepted, and Fourth Ward has very good field position. Vancouver's defense just has to stop the bleeding and try to get an interception on their own or a sack or something.
Man, the defense has just come to play for Fort Worth in this game. Coming in, they had 32 takeaways. They were 7th in the league in that category and already have 3 in this one. Throwing it, but that could have been back-to-back interceptions as the pressure got up the middle to Cameron Curtis and had to make him throw that ball before he wanted to.
Yeah, and a 2nd and 10, and again, Vancouver just needs to hold on for 2 more plays, get the ball back, and try to just build a game plan right now for them to move the ball consistently and not put the ball in harm's way.
2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Tomasak and Williams in the backfield. Trying to look like a little bit of a scramble, but it leads to a Gerald Giudice sack. And the defense for Vancouver coming up big on this drive.
3rd and 14 now. And, man, they just need to play deep. I mean, if they catch the ball underneath or something forward, that's okay. They just need to play deep coverage.
So 3rd and 14, 3 of 6 on 3rd downs are Fort Worth. Curtis, he got ahead looking to pitch that football, but it's going to be 4th down upcoming as the defense coming up big. Josh Ferenzi coming up with the tackle and giving Vancouver life back.
Yeah, for sure. And he was trying to actually throw the ball backwards, which is completely legal, but he was tackled as he was trying to release the ball.
I would have liked to see if he would have what would have happened if he would have pitched it back, just what the shenanigans would have ensued on that play. And we're seeing everything in the SFL quarterfinals. We're seeing teams put up close to 70 points against some teams. Now we're seeing Fort Worth just show up big on defense, and we're seeing people strut into the end zone as well. But you take a look at that. The first team to finish number 1 back-to-back seasons since the Dallas loss / Roughnecks back in season 6 and 7.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, they're so talented in every single front.
Throwing it out to Redford, breaking off a tackle, gets 2 yards on the play. But yeah, just go back to what you were going into there, Ramos.
Yeah.
I mean, back in season 6 and 7, I wasn't even a sparkle in anybody team's eyes at that point.
Yeah, and you know, the Roughnecks were really good at intercepting the ball. They had Troy Lasha, who actually right now plays for the Vultures, and he was just an interception machine. And right now, Fort Worth basically has their own version of that type of secondary with Adam Leach, and who's a rookie, and company, who just made the tackle, by the way. They are just so opportunistic, and they can just take the ball away like few teams in the SFL can.
Eddie Gage, the owner of the Arizona Scorpions, in chat saying the league digging deep into the stat history to find that data. Well, it is the playoffs, Eddie. Come on. You know Cam's always going to do his best to get up facts. As Tom Pepper will throw it out to the left side. Pass is going to be caught by Brett Killian, and that's going to be a gain of 3 on the play.
Tom Pepper now with 3 interceptions, but it's just a matter of time for Tom Pepper to gather his footing and start to string those deep completions. And now he gets 8th all-time in passing yards.
Yeah, congratulations to Tom Pepper. He needed only 73 yards coming into this one, and he has surpassed that and then some. Throwing it out to Redford, breaking off a tackle, spin move, he's still in bounds, down the sideline. What a play by Robert Redford, putting the team on his back and getting the ball to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, that was all number 28. I mean, Tom Pepper getting rid of the ball, but number 28, Robert Redford, just unbelievable. Gets away from a linebacker and then 2 different defenders to put the ball in scoring position.
A nice play by Robert Redford, doing it all. So now the drive continues. This is going to be the 5th play already at 41 yards on this drive. Getting the ball inside forward territory to the 28, a couple yards away from the SFL red zone. Taking a shot deep. Pass is caught. And all the way down to the 2-yard line goes Andy Hamilton.
Wow. What an unbelievable catch right there by Andy Hamilton. Actually, it was bracket covered again. And Moss's a defender. It's not just Sicario, actually, who already has an interception.
That's what we call going up and getting it. And boy, did he do that against Sicario, who has an interception, like you alluded to in this game already. Tom Pepper still playing with some fire here, but you got to love to see it if you're Vancouver Legion. Throwing it, batted up in the air, and incomplete. JL Browning getting another pass deflection.
Wow, Browning read that one all the way. He got in front of the wide receiver and was ready to take that one. Maybe not for 6 points because that's a 98-yard spread, but at least to give Fort Worth the ball back. I don't know why they're not running the ball. And now they have a fullback in the formation. Let's see if they hand the ball off to Redford here.
2 receivers to the top of the formation. Full house to the backfield. There goes Redford up the middle, only picking up 1 on the play. So it's going to be a 3rd down and goal upcoming for the Vancouver Legion.
Vancouver really needs a touchdown here. I mean, a field goal would make it a 1-possession game as well, but they really need to put 7 on the board here. Look for the stretch play here on the far side.
3rd and goal. Pepper, 5-step drop, looking for Redford. Nobody there for Fort Worth. He walks into the end zone for a touchdown.
I guess the swing just works as well. It's absolutely unblocked. I'm not sure why they are not focusing on number 28, but Vancouver gets the ball in the end zone and exactly what they needed.
Robert Redford, nice little 28-yard play. The swing pass worked to perfection, got him down to the Fort Worth 28, and then it was Andy Hamilton with a nice go up and getting the ball inside the red zone down to around the 3-yard line. And then it was Robert Redford notching another touchdown to his cap. And just like that, Ramos, we are back to a 3-point game, 17-14.
Yeah, and 3 minutes left in the game. In the first half. You know, either with this offense, either 2 things are going to happen. Either Fort Worth is going to get another score on the board, or Vancouver is going to get a turnover here, I think. And man, if Fort Worth can put some more points on the board, this is going to be hard for come back from because the Taurus really look unstoppable so far.
Stevens with the return. He'll get it to the 30-yard line. He was looking to bust that one home, coming back home to Vancouver, but gets the ball out to the 30-yard line. So now we'll see Cameron Curtis, and we haven't seen him in a couple drives thanks to the Fort Worth defense.
Vancouver still going in this kind of like nickel defense against this heavy set of Fort Worth Toros. Let's see if that doesn't bite them.
Dr. Williams trying to go up the middle, but he's going to be hit and dropped again by the linebacker Josh Franzi for a pickup of no gain on the play. Farnsey coming up big on another tackle. 2nd and 10, still at their own 30-yard line. Curtis under center. Komisak and Williams in the backfield. Looking for Williams on their version of the swing pass. But the Legion swarmed to it. Only a pickup of 3 on the play. 3rd and 7 upcoming, and they're going to hurry it back to the line of scrimmage. We saw this back in the first quarter. Curtis, pump fakes, throwing it, pass is caught, and going to be just inches short of the first down. Curtis Komisak couldn't get the ball over the first down marker. We got 4 inches upcoming, but we've hit the 2-minute warning. You're watching the SFL quarterfinals on Next Level Sports. back. The last 2 minutes of a very entertaining first half of play from Legion Field. Coming up on the SFL halftime report, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green break down the first half of the Toros and the Legion. We'll revisit the wildcard playoff game between the quarterfinal matchup between Lone Star and Baltimore and get to know our studio co-host Mike St. Green. It's all coming up on the SFL halftime report as the Vancouver Legion will get the ball here with the minute 52 left to go.
Yeah, Vancouver almost 31 points per game this season. They have 14, so just a little bit under their average.
Pepper connects just like that. Kendra Hall holding on to the football. Touchdown, Vancouver Legion.
It was just a matter of time, wasn't it? They always connect deep. Kendra Hall averaged 17 yards per reception this season, and that time goes 61 yards to the end zone for 6, and there was no safety help. As simple as that.
By Aiden Davis just to try to slow her up before she hit the goal line, but it was all for naught as Kendra Hall notches her second touchdown of this game. And Canada Field back to life, where it seemed like you could hear a pin drop just about 5 minutes ago. And just like that, Vancouver regains the lead. It's now 20-17 pending the extra point, looking to make this a 4-point game. High snap, but it's corralled and put down, and it's through the uprights and good. So now we're back to a 4-point game and the first lead since for Vancouver since it was 7-3 in that first quarter of play.
Yeah, Forward was actually really dominating the entire second quarter, but plays in the lead somehow.
So a minute 44 left to go, 61 yards for Kendra Hall. Kick is away, fielded at around the 10-yard line, and Kate Stevens with a nice return to the 42, setting up Fort Worth in good field position to put some points on the board before the end of the first half of play.
Yeah, and Fort Worth has a really good chance with that, getting 20 yards and getting field goal to end the first half at least. They still have 3 timeouts, so time is not a problem.
Teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. As you take a look at Cameron Curtis, 113 yards passing so far in the first half of play. 1 touchdown to his name, 100.1 QBR. Taking a shot deep, but it's going to be intercepted. Ashley Rose Finch, how do you do? She takes a pop at the end of the play, but gets the ball to midfield.
Yeah, and now it's Vancouver's chance to even get a touchdown there at midfield already with 3 timeouts on their own. So, again, bracket coverage. There are 2 layers to it, and Rose Finch gets the interception. Great play.
And we have to go back to the last time they played, week 12. You take a look, you got Kyler Murray with a little bit of a tip drill going back the other way. This Legion defense is no slouch to interceptions, Ramos.
No, they're not. They're so opportunistic. Every time a defender has a chance to come up with it, they do, as you can see on that replay again. They're just so good at ball hawking. Another time for Sully Richardson, got hit as he threw. A defender puts a hand on it, and there's another defender ready for it.
Take a look at then you have to apply the pressure first, and then look at that, just off the foot and into the hands. But this secondary for the Legion is no slouch to interceptions, as Cameron Curtis gets his first interception and basically the first turnover as well for the Fort Worth Toros. And now they face a little bit of their defensive backs against the wall here with the ball at midfield for Tom Pepper, who's under center. Short drop, looking to the sidelines. Pass is caught by Hall and getting 6 yards.
Yeah, Kendra Hall now with 105 yards and 2 touchdowns so far in this game. Again, she's the deep threat. She's the one that stretches the field. As there are a couple of other receivers who get the underneath stuff.
Take a look at Kendra Hall with Adam Leach guarding her. 2nd and 4 now to the Fort Worth 44-yard line. A minute 29 left to go. Short drop, throwing it to Redford out of the backfield. Nice spin move, and we'll have enough for the first down before being tackled on the play, but getting the ball to the 39 as the clock keeps ticking.
Yeah, I would not call a timeout here. You still have plenty of time. I will hurry up to the line a little bit here, though. Try to see if I can get a play before, the 1 minute comes in.
For taking the snap, drop it back 7 steps, slinging the rock, batted up in the air and incomplete. Looking across the middle, was looking for Dan Daly, the tight end, but it's knocked away, so incomplete. 2nd down and 10 upcoming for the Vancouver Legion.
Yeah, I think it was a good call of the deep post route right there to Daly, as it was one-on-one coverage against Delaney Nash, and just a good hit by the defender jarring the ball loose.
Importantly, falls to the turf incomplete. So Tom Pepper with already 3 interceptions, but with 3 touchdowns. As a free play for Tom Pepper, getting the defense to jump, and it's going to be intercepted, but the ball is going to be coming back as J.L. Browning will have that taken off his name because the defense jumped early.
Yeah, just heartbreaking right there by the Toros. They had the interception, and now Vancouver's going to have another chance.
Joey Schwint getting a little bit too antsy in his stance and jumping, and encroachment is called, so a free 5 yards for Vancouver. And really, I mean, why help the offense really with the offense that Vancouver has been doing here in this second quarter of play?
Yeah, absolutely. Now 2nd and 5. Look for the screen pass.
48 seconds left to go. There it is. You called for it, Ramos. Ask and he shall receive. And the first timeout taken by Vancouver, setting up a 3rd and 1 opportunity.
And I like the play call because that's a play that is designed to go to the outside and get out of bounds. He was unable to do so, but at least got 4 yards, making a 3rd and short.
It's got to hinder the defense as well when you have the running back coming out of the backfield like that, sprinting at full speed, and you a linebacker or safety having to come back down. It's just like an easy 5 yards, and they're going to do it again. And look at that. Robert Redford down the field to the 22. They're going to hurry it up.
Well, I think he actually got out of bounds. I'm not sure why they're not stopping the clock on this one.
30 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Throwing it to Redford yet again. Can he get out of bounds? No, he breaks out of a tackle, and he's tackled inbounds by E.K. Vincent. And the second timeout is taken by Vancouver. They got 1 remaining.
Yeah, good use of a timeout right there by the Vancouver Legion. It's a good play that has worked a few times already, so keep on doing it until there's about 20 to 25 seconds left on the clock. It's good clock management right there.
21-17 is the score with Vancouver on top of Fort Worth. Pepper dropping back. Gonna take a shot to the end zone. Going up and getting it is Brett Killian. Touchdown, Vancouver. Tom Pepper throwing his 4th touchdown pass of the first half.
And that's the 2nd time the Vancouver Legion receiver just goes up and gets the ball in tight coverage. That was a corner route. And, I mean, defensively, you cannot play it much better than that. I mean, you have the coverage right there. Your defender has to make the play, and he just did it.
Defensive secondary to at least get their hand up. If you could see the receiver trying to go up for the ball, putting a hand up, but they decided not to, and it's 6 points into the end zone and 7 with the extra point. So it's now 28-17, and we saw 14 unanswered for Fort Worth. Now we saw 14 unanswered for Vancouver.
Yeah, and it's actually up to 21 unanswered. The game was 17-7 Fort Worth at one point. and Vancouver has scored the last 21 points of the game. And with 20 seconds left, I think that Fort Worth would just sit on it and go to the half.
They won unanswered points. It all started with Fort Worth getting a field goal on their opening drive to make it 3-0, and it stayed 3-0 for a couple of drives before Vancouver putting 7 on the board, and then before you know it, it was kind of 7-3 until the second quarter started, and then we've been seeing a barrage of points.
Yeah, I mean, this game was 3-0 for the longest time, and this second quarter has been just crazy. Um, a ton of points, as you said.
So 15 seconds left to go in the first half. Curtis will swing it out to Williams, having to corral that one and adjust, making a nice spin move, gets 2 Legion defenders looking the wrong way, and before you know it, he's picking up 4, and they'll burn one time out here, so they got 2 left with 3 seconds left to go.
Yeah, I think that what they will do is maybe another swing pass or a run to Jason Williams and see if by any chance they can get a big play out of him. But I don't think Fort Worth's going to do anything particularly risky here. This is no situation for a Hail Mary. It's too long for that.
Kind of bleak for Tom Pepper in the first half of play, but he's turned it on. 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but 257 passing yards. He has come to play in this SFL quarterfinal matchup. Hand off to Komisek up the middle, but he's going to be hit and stopped, and they're going to burn another timeout here with 1 second left.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another run. I mean, it's 3rd and 7. Um, I don't see why they're even calling a timeout, but maybe they want to see if Jason Williams can get an explosive play.
Remember, we got 1 second left, but the SFL halftime show will be coming up with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green. They're going to break down this very entertaining first half of play. And then they're also going to break down that monstrosity that was the Baltimore and Lone Star Glory game earlier before this one, as a swing pass to Komisek up and only picking up a couple of yards, but it's not going to do anything because we have come to halftime. Vancouver on top, courtesy of 21 unanswered. 28-17 is the score. And after this break, it'll be the halftime studios for Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green.
Welcome to the SFL Halftime Report with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. 28-17. Vancouver leads Fort Worth at the half, and Mike, the Fort Worth Toros have two first downs in the first half. They got them both on the opening possession of the game. They have not moved the chains since, which is just shocking.
Yeah, Cam, the where's Waldo thing. Where's Jason Williams in this first half? I mean, the guy averages over 100 yards per game. What is he now? 4 or 5 carries in this game. He's basically non-existent. I mean, they've gotten him in a couple of swing passes, but that's not really, his strengths, playing to his strengths. Fort Worth are definitely going to have to control some of this clock to keep this explosive Vancouver offense off the field, Cam.
And they have two big plays. They have the Ben Stone pick, and they have the Stephen Hacker touchdown. And other than that, it's just been Vancouver moving up and down the field. Brett Killian and Kendra Hall winning all the 50-50 balls. Redford looks explosive. They've gotten it to him in a variety of ways. I mean, they're just kind of doing what they want out there, which is scary considering that Fort Worth was number 1 this year in total defense and in scoring defense.
Well, it looks like, the battle of, great offense against great defense. Vancouver's winning that battle right now. But I do not want to, go without mentioning, Vancouver's defense, because, like I said, Fort Worth are pretty much playing right into the hands, dropping back so much. Gerald Judy Sessions had a great first half. I think 2.5, 3 sacks. Ashley Rose Finch with a big interception there towards the end of the first half. But, Cam, one note that I made late in the first quarter, and it was to keep a drive alive for Vancouver while they were struggling a little bit to get things going on offense. Tom Pepper made a great completion to Brett Killian, nondescript, but he took a big hit. Brett Killian made a big play in the middle of the field, moved the chains, and that was at the end of the first quarter, towards the end of the first quarter, and that led to a 16-play, 89-yard drive, and Vancouver went ahead 7-3, and they scored at about 9 minutes of the second quarter. So, and ever since then, that Vancouver offense has been rolling.
I think Ben Stone showboating into the end zone lit a fire under Vancouver. I mean, Fort Worth has been blanked since. I mean, no yards, nothing.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, when Ben Stone was, doing the pick six and then followed that with the next possession with an interception, I was saying, man, Ben Stone's angry with me for not mentioning him in the pregame with his secondary mates there. But yeah, maybe that lit a fire under these guys because Vancouver's been, full go ever since.
All right, well, time ticking down here on our time here today on national television. We're going to get the game out to the second half here coming up after the commercial break. It's 28-17, Fort Worth trailing Vancouver. They need a spark. We'll see if they get it. This has been the SFL Halftime Report on Next Level Sports.
entertaining halftime show between Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green, but we are back because we got the second half to go, and we got to get one more spot in the SFL quarterfinals to get to the semis up for grabs. As Vancouver on top, 28-17. I'm Jeff Melanition. My broadcast partner for this one is Ramos Lynn, and thanks to Mark Lopez doing stats for us behind the scenes, as Vancouver will get the ball first to start the second half of play, and they will start at their own 23-yard line. So, Ramos, what second half adjustments do you want to see by both teams?
Well, Fort Worth just got 2 first downs on the first half, so they have to make sure they string some plays together. And for Vancouver, I think that as long as they do not turn the ball over, they're going to be fine.
Handoff to Redford. He's been kind of quiet in that first half of play, only 34 yards rushing, and he's going to get to 35 with that gain of 1.
Yeah, and I agree. Just giving the ball to Robert Redford here, inside and outside of the hash marks. Because, he's your bell cow. He's the guy who needs to take over, especially when you're leading by double digits.
Now Pepper goes to the shotgun formation. Going to take a little throw underneath, and that's going to, because the receiver had to come back to the football, Andy Hamilton. It's going to be a 3rd and 2, so he would have had a first down, but had to go back, so it loses that yards.
Yeah, he does, but it's a 3rd and manageable 2 yards. They're going to, I think, swing it again to the outside, but it looks like Fort Worth is ready for it.
Second, 3rd and 2. Hit as he throws. Pepper gets the ball, but into the ground, incomplete. And that's the first time that we've seen this defensive line come to play for Fort Worth. And they get a crucial stop to open up this second half of play. And I know I said only 35 rushing yards, but Redford over 100 with the all-purpose, with the receiving yards as well.
Yeah, for sure. Especially that incredible play that he had on the swing pass where he made about 3 or 4 defenders miss and was able to get about 40 on the play.
As the snap is away for the punt, it's going to be fielded and returned by Cade Stevens to the 38-yard line. All right, so we already saw Vancouver with their 3 and out on their opening drive. What do you want to see here from Fort Worth from their offense?
Well, I think running the ball here with Williams, at least on 1st and 2nd down, could be helpful. Making sure the 3rd down is manageable, because you really need to start stringing some first downs together.
Hand out to Jason Williams. He really hasn't been getting going to what we know the level of Jason Williams, and he picks up 7 there, so he's 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and Williams is a very elusive back. Obviously, he was a fullback in his early days, but even as a fullback, he had a ton of speed, and you knew that he was going to be a great back if he made the transition.
So 2nd and 3. Kamisak and Williams in the backfield, but Curtis drops back 5 steps, throwing it on the run, and it's converted for a first down. Finds Stephen Hacker, and a first down. He gets the ball to the Vancouver 44.
Yeah, those are one of the wild plays that Cameron Curtis has done all season long. Going across his body, throws the ball sidearm to his wide open receiver for a first down.
Curtis dropping back 5 steps, looking to Jason Williams out of the backfield, but the defense is there as we take a look. A couple of number ones across the board for these two teams. You got Fort Worth with number 1 in the fewest turnovers and the scoring defense and the total defense, but Vancouver, their number 1's come on offense, so it was always going to be a chess match between these two teams.
Yeah, and Vancouver's offense really with the upper hand so far in this game.
Curtis delivers a nice strike to Cade Stevens, who's in bounds for that one for a pickup of 5.
And this is a tricky situation, Jeff, here on 3rd and 5, because if you do not get a first down, you have to consider going for it. Like, if you get 3-4 yards as 4th and short, you're kind of like in no man's land, and I will consider going for it to pick up a first down.
So 3rd and 5, looking to convert the 3rd down here. Throwing it, pass is caught. Robert Garrett Jr. says, how do you do, with his first grab of this quarterfinal matchup and a pivotal 1st down conversion, getting the ball to the 29.
Yeah, very, very surprising if that's his first catch of the game. Vancouver has done a pretty good job with both tight ends, actually. Percoco has been pretty quiet so far as well. Had a great catch in the first quarter, but ever since, she's been pretty quiet.
Lauren Percoco has been held in check, to say the least. Curtis will fire it out to Williams, but he's going to be hit and dropped for a loss on the play, courtesy of Kevin Brackett, with his first tackle for loss on the afternoon.
And forward going backwards again, it's 2nd and 11, and that's why they've had a tough time getting first downs. They continue to be in this 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations, and that's certainly not helping.
And off to Williams, breaking out of a tackle, but the defense swarming, and Farnsey with another tackle on Jason Williams, who's been having Jason Williams' number all game long.
Yeah, you're in a position here where you're down 11 points. The most important thing is to get a score on the board. If nothing is open deep, just check it down or try to scramble. Just do not throw an interception here.
Curtis dropping back to throw. We'll fire it out to the left side on a nice out route, and it's caught by Hacker. And it's going to be 4th and inches. He stepped out just a little bit before the 1st down marker.
Yeah, the ball was behind the 1st down marker as he was doing the stiff arm. And now this is interesting. It's 4th and inches. I think they're going to bring the field goal kicker. No, actually, the offense stays on the field. I will go for it here, actually.
Are they actually going to go for it? Oh, I hope they don't burn a timeout here. It looks like they're going to play that little strategy game. And they will. Oh, so they only got 2 timeouts here the rest of the second half.
Yeah. And it looked like Vancouver was actually protecting the boundaries. I think that if you ran the ball up the middle, probably you could have had some success, especially when it's only a couple of inches here. But looks like forward's going to take the points and make it a 1-possession game.
Agree with that call, Ramos, though? I know it's still early in the second half of play to go for it, but it's 4th and inches. You might not have this opportunity again like we saw in that first half.
No, yeah, I would have gone for it, especially when you have 3 players really who can easily get that, half a yard. Even the quarterback, Curtis, he's 6'8", so he just basically has to fall forward and he's got it.
As Taco Sicario notches it through the uprights and good, so back to a 1-score game, 28-20 is the score here from Canada Field in Vancouver, British Columbia. And what a nice kick that was, but it's all going to go back to that timeout being burned. Is that going to come back to haunt Fort Worth? We'll just have to wait and see how the rest of the second half of play plays out.
Yeah, it may really affect Fort Worth by the end of this game, because we know that in playoff games especially, those timeouts are just very important.
The SFL's 3rd season of the minor league action is currently underway, and you can watch every week live on the SFL's YouTube channel at youtube.com/SimulationFL. The league is full of the newest players who have gone from couch to field and are hoping to one day be on national TV, just like the players are today. Want to get on the field? It's never too late. Visit our website at www.simulationfl.net to join our Discord community, create a player, and start building your career today. For all the new people watching in the FTF Twitch chat and also watching on Next Level Sports, appreciate everybody tuning in to this one, as this is the SFL quarterfinal matchup between the Vancouver Legion and the Fort Worth Toros.
Yeah, good run up the middle here with Redford, but E.K. Vincent was ready for it. 2nd and 8 coming up, and this is, I think, a similar formation where Daly got a deep pass going his way. So let's see.
Will the Prophet be successful? No, he won't. It's going to be a handoff to Redford. And a handoff only for a short gain on the play before being tackled by J.L. Browning, who's had kind of a quiet game, but also, I mean, he had the interception but was called back because the defense encroached.
Yeah, and great play by forward actually, because there were about two or three different Toros who were already in the backfield by the time Redford got the ball.
Throwing it across the middle, and again, I mean, this has been the calling card for Fort Worth's defense. They have broken up some of these nice passes as Delaney Nash getting a shot on Kendra Hall and breaking that one up.
Yeah, and it's going to be a quick 3 and out, and forward's going to get the ball in pretty good field position. Maybe around the 40-45 yard line or so. And Cameron Curtis and company have played better here in this third quarter than what they did in the second.
SFL League website at www.simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. Links to apparel, helmets, and a comprehensive history of the SFL. It's over 1,500 games, and it's thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. So now, Fort Worth got on the board with a field goal from Taco Sicario. That's been the only scoring in the second half of play up to this point, though. 4-down defensive lineman for Vancouver. Throwing it over the middle of the field is Curtis, but it's knocked away, and it's going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, trying to get a quick pass over the middle to the tight end, but good play by the linebacker. There were a couple of receivers actually on that side who were pretty open. Obviously, the hot route was the tight end, and they tried to go with that.
Take a look at Kevin Brackett going to his middle linebacker spot. 2 tackles, 1 assist to his name, and 1 tackle for loss and a pass deflection so far in this game. 2nd and 10, though, for Curtis, who's under center. Got Komisek and Williams in the backfield. Going to throw it to Williams out of the backfield. A nice little stutter step, but that's going to hinder his gaining of any yards after that, and that's going to be 3rd and 6 upcoming to an offense that has only converted 4 third-down conversions in this game.
Yeah, and again, it's that, heavy set. They can really get passes deep out of this set. They're very explosive, but sometimes you wish you had another wide receiver or something.
Robert Garrett Jr. with a nice grab for a first down conversion. Getting the ball to Vancouver territory to the 43. But what the interesting part about this game when we were going through the stats was that both teams are giving up on defense 52% conversion rate on third down. So both of them were tied at 16th in the league.
Yeah, not very great. When we talk about how good the defensive front and the back end is for Fort Worth, but on third down, they struggle a little bit.
Looking for Lauren Percoco, but it's batted up in the it's a hit by Ashley Rose Finch that draws that ball loose and could have been intercepted, but a nice play by Ashley, who already has an interception to her name thus far in this contest, but it's incomplete for Curtis, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yep, 2nd and 10, and nickel defense here for Vancouver. I think Fort Worth will run it here.
28-20 is the score from Canada Field in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and a handoff to Jason Williams goes up the middle for a short gain on the play before tackled by Coverson, the defensive end, so it's going to be a 3rd and 8.
And again, we're in a similar situation. If you do not get a first down but get 5-6 yards, again, you're kind of like a no man's land where you're going to consider going for it.
The crowd chanting defense, throwing it out to Komisek, but that's not going to work. Had to readjust and really didn't get the motor turning north and south, and that's going to be a loss on the play. And Ashley Rose Finch with a nice tackle on the play out wide and bringing down that fullback. And now 4th down upcoming, so Fort Worth only getting the ball inside Vancouver territory. Then it was a quick 3 and out right after that.
Yeah, but at least Fort Worth's defense is kind of like clamping down here in the third quarter. If you can get a good punt here, you may even get a safety, maybe. Look at this punt. Oh,
they called him into the end zone. So Vancouver will get the ball at their own 20 after this. You're watching the SFL quarterfinals with Vancouver on top 28-20 We'll be back here watching the SFL on Next Level Sports. To Canada Field. 2:57 left to go in the third quarter. I'm Jeff Malinish. My broadcast partner is Ramos Lynn and Mark Lopez doing stats for us in the stats truck. As the Legion will start on a first down carry for a pickup of 5 with Robert Redford.
This is not worthy of a replay because it's only a 5-yard gain, but Rick Wall just absolutely destroyed a defender. I don't even catch the number of the defender. He just pancaked that poor boy.
The defensive line adjusting for Fort Worth on this 2nd and 5 play. Pepper dropping back, looking, batted up in the air, and it's intercepted on the tip drill. And Fort Worth getting good starting field position, courtesy of the 4th interception of Tom Pepper.
Wow, that was crazy. I mean, that ball bounced out of the hands of Daly and then into the hands of the Fort Worth Toros, who finally are able to corral it in. And this is the Toros' opportunity.
Starting at the Vancouver 33-yard line, Cameron Curtis will line up under center. Komisak and Williams in the backfield. 4 down defensive linemen for Vancouver on this play. Pump fake. And Curtis connects with Robert Garrett Jr. over on the left side for a pickup of 7 on the play.
Yeah, 2nd and 3 coming up on this one. Again, you can run the ball here with Jason Williams, try to see if you can get the first down that way or at least get you closer to it. 2 tight end set. So I think it's going to be a run. Nope.
Pass it to Robert Garrett Jr. stretching, but cannot get over the line to gain, and it's going to be 3rd and inches. He tried everything he could to get over that first down marker, but the defense and Dean Maddox says no, so 3rd and inches upcoming for Fort Worth.
Yeah, and Robert Garrett Jr., I mean, it took him a while to get going in this game, but back-to-back catches now.
And they're going to run it with Jason Williams. Gets just enough for the first down and getting it to the 22. But really, Williams has not had the success that he's had in previous games, even going back to the last week. He's only had 8 carries for 26 yards and then 8 receptions for 17 as you take a look at some of the highlights from last week's game. And if you're Los Angeles, you just want to look away because he ran for 261 yards in this contest.
Yeah, the blocking was phenomenal, and how he was able to pick the right hole every single time. It was never a point where he was confused on where to go. It was just clear daylight for him all game long, as you can see on all those replays. Getting away from the entire defense of Los Angeles, and the burst that he has is just unbelievable, and just the strength. Well,
And really showing it all on the field last week, and was single-handedly the reason how Fort Worth was able to win that game in going up against Los Angeles and getting them to this point. But they're going to need a lot more of Jason Williams in this one. 28-20, though. Curtis dropping back to throw, looking across the middle. Robert Garrett Jr. to the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Worth Toros.
yeah, what a unbelievable pass here by Cameron Curtis right there. It's a post route by Garrett Jr. Gets the touchdown.
Oh, threading the needle on that one. Going the just that little shot that we had on that replay. Boy, oh boy, Cameron Curtis is coming to play here in this second half of play, and they're going to go for two, trying to tie this game up at 28 with 57 seconds left to go in the third. Curtis under center has Williams and Komisek in the backfield. But it's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be no good on the conversion. Looking for the fullback run. But Farnsey yet again with another big tackle. Now meeting Komisek in the hole, and it's going to stay at a 28-26 game.
Yeah, I understand why you go for two to tie the game. I would actually kick the extra point. There's still 12 minutes left in this contest. I would have just kicked the extra point and make it 28-27, but I understand why they went for it.
With some great tackles in this game, already with 7 to this point, and he's the leading tackler for the Legion on defense, making some big time stops as Vancouver getting the ball up to their own 23-yard line.
You know, and you asked me what did Vancouver need to do in the second half. It was not turn the ball over. Well, they did pass drive, and Forward was able to get 6 points. So they need to make sure they take care of the football here.
Off to Redford, trying to get him going. He's going to go up the middle. No gain on the play, though. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, as tackled by Catherine Horrell on the play.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 coming up. You don't have to panic here if you're the Vancouver Legion. You can run the ball again here on second down, or throw the ball short. They go in the empty set. Maybe some slants here coming up.
Vancouver looking for the first down of the second half. Throwing it, batted up in the air. Oh, Delaney Nash had a chance at an interception, and so did a couple other Toros on the deflection, but it falls incomplete, bringing it up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that should have been intercepted, by Delaney Nash, if not him, by the rest of the forward defense pretty much. Vancouver 0 first downs in the third quarter. Let's see if we can get a first down here with 3rd and 10 coming up.
2x2 set look. Tom Pepper in the shotgun. Got Robert Redford to his right. Pepper looking across the middle. Connects, and that's a first down play. And a nice conversion on 3rd down, courtesy of Andy Hamilton.
Yeah, who's been pretty clutch in this game. He's had a couple of those type of receptions to get big first downs. Vancouver is able to keep the drive going.
So the first down of the second half, courtesy of Andy Hamilton from Tom Pepper. That's going to do it for the end of the third quarter. Put your 4s up in chat. This is going to be a good one. 2-point game. You're watching the SFL quarterfinals on Next Level Sports. start of the fourth quarter. Putting your 4s up, putting the 86s up as well for Rich Pratchard. Here in Canada Field, start of the fourth quarter. It's going to start with a run by Robert Redford, but he's going to be hit and dropped by Joey Swint in the backfield for a loss of 3 on the play.
Yeah, that's the second time they tried to do that counter play, and it has not worked either time. And it's been putting Vancouver now in a pretty rough position.
I'm Jeff Melanishin. The other voice you're hearing, my broadcast partner is Ramos Lynn. And then the man behind the scenes is Mark Lopez. And what a shot that was. Catherine Horrell getting a shot on Tom Pepper and taking advantage of it and getting a sack. 3rd and 19 upcoming for the Legion.
Yeah, and Vancouver now is in a little bit of trouble here on the 3rd and 19 because they do have to throw the ball deep, but this forward defense has been outstanding against the pass here in the second half.
Now 3rd and a country mile for Pepper. Going to play action to Redford. Taking a shot deep. Batted up in the air and incomplete. 3 forward Toro defenders had a chance at an interception, but it falls incomplete. That would have probably just been a punt as well on 3rd down, but now Vancouver will punt this one away on 4th down.
And because of those tackles for loss, forward again will have pretty good field position around the 40-yard line or so. And they're only down 2 points, so if they can kick a successful field goal, they will be on top.
Sector 6 is the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. Visit sector6apparel.com or our website at simulationfl.net for replica jerseys and completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more to help each team stand out from their opponents. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6 and the SFL today. So 1st down and 10, Fort Worth getting the ball back down 2, and they'll start at their own 36-yard line as Curtis will move under center. Komisak and Williams in the backfield. Short drop. Throwing it to Percoco. Having to adjust on that one as coming down and making a big play is Major Key from his free safety spot.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and very long 11. Because both offenses really struggling and going backwards. By the way, we are at 54 points where the over-under is 54.5. And that's pretty accurate by Jack's data so far.
Cameron Curtis dropping back, throwing it into double coverage, and luckily to breathe a sigh of relief as it falls incomplete. Looking for Robert Garrett Jr., who's been heavily involved here in the second half of play. Remember, he had no targets or even receptions in that first half, and he's had 5 receptions for 53 yards. So he's leading in terms of receptions and yards in the second half of play.
Yeah, and also had that touchdown deep, so really the best player of the Toro so far in the second half.
3rd and 11, looking to convert their 7th 3rd down, throwing it on the run. It is caught. Where's it going to be marked? Just a yard short. Stephen Hacker coming up with a great catch as Cameron Curtis throwing it while backing up and having to scoot away from that pressure, and it's 4th down and 1.
Yeah, and you have to punt this one. I agree with the call. Because if you go for it and you do not convert, you're basically giving Vancouver 3 points for free. So you do have to punt this one away.
The SFL broadcast team is looking to add new talent to our ranks of broadcasters. Applications are now being accepted to try out for either play-by-play or analyst broadcasting positions. The thing is, no prior experience is required, just a love of the game and a desire to succeed. The application can be found on our website at simulationfl.net/broadcasting. Get those applications in, and Cameron and Chris Curtis could be trying you out for spots at either analyst or play-by-play. As the defensive line adjusting for Fort Worth on this play, going up the middle, almost getting there, but a throw out to Redford, breaking out of a tackle, but Sicario coming down and laying the wood only for a pickup of 3.
And Redford quietly 12 catches for 70 yards. And he did get that big catch, but other than that, Fort Worth has been pretty good at containing him. Look for the play action pass here. Jeff. They like to do it out of this 4 wide receiver set.
No play action, but throwing across the middle. Oh,
Dangerous.
alligator arms for that receiver going across the middle. Seemed like he did not want to get his head taken off by J.L. Browning.
For sure, and that was very dangerous right there for the Legion. Throwing the ball across the field to a backup wide receiver, and it's gonna be 3rd and long now.
Nate Hall up in chat saying that he is not comfortable with this lead. Only a 2-point lead for Vancouver in this one. 3rd and 7 though, upcoming. Pepper dropping back from empty set. Throwing it deep, batted up in the air, still in the air, but it falls to Canada Field's turf, and it's incomplete. Man, the chances that this defense has for Fort Worth to get these interceptions and maybe turn the tide of this game a little bit, just seemingly not going in their favor, but also for Tom Pepper, he is playing with fire.
Yeah. Other than the swing passes, we really have not seen Vancouver throw short passes, and this is going to be an encroachment. Still going to be a 4th down though.
Encroachment on when the offense is lining up to punt the football. I mean, the coaching staff for Fort Worth is probably ripping their hair out on that one, as the defense jumping a little bit too soon, and that's the second time that we've seen Fort Worth do that in this contest, but still, like Ramos, you alluded to, going to be 4th and 2.
Yeah, it's important though because those 5 yards really change the complexion of like field position battle, and Fort Worth is going to have a worse field position now probably, but they're still going to get the ball back, so that's okay.
The punt is away, fielded by Cade Stevens, going to bring it out to the 36. Tomorrow, For the Fans has the coverage of the SFL playoffs as they continue with the quarterfinals. Coverage starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on the SFL Twitter at Simulationfl for the matchup pairings. And don't miss a minute of the intense postseason action. The SFL on For the Fans. We put the fan in fantasy. Great matchups up in store tomorrow, as after tonight, only 2 spots in the semis will remain. 1st down and 10 for Cam Curtis as he's throwing it across the middle, and he connects with Robert Garrett Jr., who seemingly is taking over this second half and getting a pickup of 8 on the play.
Yeah, that was a good throw right there by Curtis, right in front of the safety for a decent gain on the play. And there's obviously a lot of time left on this clock, so Fort Worth basically can do whatever they want to do. They can run the ball here, 2nd and 2, and try to pick up a 1st down.
Off to Jason Williams, but he's in the backfield. That play was destroyed from the get-go, and that one was not going to work as Hudson getting in there for a tackle for loss and a tackle as well to his name. 3rd and 3 upcoming for the Toros.
Brilliant play by the defensive lineman. There were 3 defensive linemen who beat their man one-on-one in about half a second.
Now they try Komisek, but that's not going to work. Back-to-back runs as Papatonis getting in there for a tackle, having to chase down Komisek from behind, but it's going to be 4th and 2.
Yeah, and you have to punt it again. I mean, this is no situation to go for it. You have to give the ball back to Vancouver, and this is dangerous for Fort Worth because it's just a matter of fact for Vancouver to get another one of those explosive plays.
And really, this is going to be the 4th straight punt in this contest and in this second half, as the punt is way fair catch called for at the 21-yard line. But keep up with the SFL and its teams on social media by following at SimulationFL. Follow us on Twitter for weekly broadcast schedules to discover team content and stay up to date on SFL news. Let us know who your favorite team is and how you enjoy the broadcast each week with the hashtag Make an Impact. Thanks for your support and viewership throughout the season. Top Pepper will gun it like he always does, it seems like, and he will find Andy Hamilton, who stays in bounds for a pickup of 4 on the play.
And that's the first short throw to a wide receiver I've seen from Vancouver in quite a while. It's been basically going deep all the time or swinging it out to Robert Redford. But finally they are able to get some yardage with a wide receiver short.
you're just joining us in the second half, first off, where were you in that first half of play? But meanwhile, you've only missed 10 points as Fort Worth got a touchdown and a field goal. They've been put points on the board as Redford getting going for Vancouver and gets the ball to the 47 of Vancouver.
Great blocking on the outside by the offensive line of the Legion. As we're going to take a look at the replay, the guard pulls to the outside, and that is where the space opens up as Brett Killian destroys a defender right there on the block. Kendra Hall doing a great job as well, and Robert Redford right behind him.
Ramos, you got to love when you see your receivers coming down and making some big blocks like that.
Yeah, it's a big part of football. It's something that the receivers do not get enough credit for. But blocking is a big part of the wide receiver repertoire.
Andy Hamilton in chat saying, feed that man. Throwing it out, batted up in the air, and incomplete. Almost another ill-advised throw by Tom Pepper, looking out wide, but Blake Prine coming up with a pass deflection.
Nice deflection right there by Prine. He's able to get both hands on the football. He's gone for 6, so very lucky Vancouver that he was unable to actually pick that pass off.
So 2nd and 10 for Tom Pepper, who's under center. Fullback and Redford in the backfield. Hand off to Redford up the middle. He's going to get to midfield, bringing up a 3rd and 6. And really, Vancouver, they are at 50% conversion, so they're down from what they normally are throughout the season. They are 6 of 12.
Yeah, and it's been tricky here for Vancouver because it doesn't seem that they have had the correct play calling for those 3rd and somethings.
3rd and 12, taking a shot deep, intercepted! The 5th interception for Tom Pepper. Delaney Nash with his 2nd of the afternoon.
That one is a little bit more forgivable because it's essentially like a punt. Trying to go with Kendra Hall, not a good throw, but it's pretty much a punt here for the Legion. It's like a touchback because he was tackled at the 20, so it's not too bad. Obviously, you do want to convert on a 1st down, but that's not too bad.
See what Cameron Curtis has up his sleeve. The sophomore quarterback taking a big jump this season in the SFL and leading Fort Worth all the way to the quarterfinals. But he wants some more than what he's been given already. Throwing it out wide to Jason Williams, but he's going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as the defense again converging, and Farnsey yet again with another big play.
Yeah. Now, with this game, if Arizona wins tomorrow, the winner of this game hosts Arizona. If Denver wins, the winner of this game has to go to Denver for the semifinals.
Pressure up the middle, down goes Cameron Curtis. And again, Hudson getting through the line, and a big-time sack by the non-contract player Hudson for Vancouver.
That was the 4th sack of the game for the Vancouver Legion. It's been crucial.
Basically, now it's a 3rd and 15, only losing yards since they've been getting that interception. Curtis looking on the slant route, but it's batted just before Cade Stevens can make the catch. That's coming down. Major Key with a big-time play. And now a 4th and 15 upcoming, and we'll punt, and Fort Worth will punt this one back to Vancouver.
And this is where kind of desperation mode starts to kick in for Fort Worth, because obviously they have to punt the ball here. And for Vancouver, it's all about running the ball with Redford and taking this clock down as much as possible. Fort Worth really needs either a turnover or a quick 3 and out.
25 punts in the first half. Meanwhile, here we are already at number 8 in the second half of play. So just the defenses have come to play. And we kind of really thought that this might be which offense can actually take advantage of the other's defense, because both of them are coming in at 3 and 5 in offensive categories and 3 and 5 in defensive categories as well. So Vancouver will start with good field position at the Fort Worth 47. A little bit of a draw play to Redford, and that's a big-time call. 1st down, and getting the ball to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, what a call, because the first 2 times it actually did not work. The first two times that they tried it, they got stopped for a loss of yardage. But this time around, the offensive line does a beautiful job to allow Robert Redford to run behind them and get a big first down.
So you bring that up, but they seem like they flipped that play a little bit. They went to the far side as opposed to going to the near side that they have for so long. So maybe seeing something on the defense for Fort Worth that they're taking advantage of here finally. So first down and 10. Pepper dropping back, will fire it to Redford. Out of the backfield, a nice spin move and picking up 7 yards on the play, getting the ball to the 30-yard line.
And another first down here for Vancouver has to bring up the question of whether Fort Worth starts calling a timeout or two. They only have 2 timeouts, and basically we're talking at the beginning of the third quarter when they had to make a challenge. Will that hurt? And it's really hurting them right now.
They decided to take the timeout, trying to get Vancouver to jump in that third quarter. Handoff and tackle just before the first down marker. Big time play for E.K. Vincent coming down and making a stop on Redford. That's normally not the easiest way to tackle Robert Redford, but it works nonetheless. 3rd and 1.
Oh, it's in the backfield. I think it's going to be a stretch play or a swing.
3 down defensive lineman for Fort Worth on this 3rd down play. Corners backed off 5 yards. Handoff to Redford. Easy first down play. Getting the ball to the 24. And now with 2:30 and the clock is still ticking, you got to wonder if you're Fort Worth, you got to start taking these timeouts.
Yeah, for sure. At least not right now, maybe, because this is going to take it to the 2-minute warning and the clock's going to stop. But the very following play, absolutely.
2:13 as the clock is still ticking. They don't have to call a play before the 2-minute warning. We'll see what Tom Pepper decides, though. 5, 4, 3. And he's going to take it to the 2-minute warning. As Vancouver on top by 2, 28-26. We'll be back with the last 2 minutes after this. You're watching the SFL quarterfinals on Next Level Sports. Back to the last 2 minutes of this SFL quarterfinal matchup between Fort Worth and Vancouver from Canada Field in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Handoff up the middle, but no gain on the play. Back to the original line of scrimmage and a timeout taken by Fort Worth. They got 1 remaining.
Yeah, and for Vancouver, the best thing that can happen to them is a first down. Not even a touchdown, actually. It's a first down because that way they can finish the game with the ball in their possession. If they score a touchdown here, you never know with an extra point. It can get blocked, for example, and then it's only a one possession game and Fort Worth gets the ball.
And off to Redford. Hit, dragging bodies, and going to get positive yards, a gain of 2 on the play. And the last timeout is taken by Fort Worth. They got no timeouts remaining and a 3rd and 8 upcoming.
Let's see what Vancouver does here. Let's see what type of offense they show on the field in 3rd and long. It's going to be, well, I see Daly here, so I see a tight end. 3 wide receivers and a tight end. I think this is going to be another run to the outside with Redford.
Set to the top of the formation for Tom Pepper. Handoff to Redford. Hit in the backfield and drop for a loss by Catherine Horrell. Coming up big. And a loss of 1 on the play. Going to be 4th and 9. Is the Fort Worth Toros coming up big on defense. But again, the clock is ticking because they do not have any timeouts remaining. And we'll see a field goal opportunity for Vancouver. I know we were talking about Ramos in that commercial break. Just what we saw from this Vancouver offense. Under 40 yards passing for Tom Pepper in this second half of play. No, only 1 target, but an incompletion for Brett Killian. And no target or at all for Kendra Hall in the second half as the snap is down, kick is on the way, and it is good from 40 yards out.
Yeah, and those are the first points for Vancouver in the second half. At halftime, it was 28-17. It's now 31-26, and Fort Worth gets the ball with plenty of time. They do not have a timeout, but they have still 70 seconds.
And we'll see what Cameron Curtis can do. We've seen the growth from him, like I alluded to earlier in his sophomore season. Now he knows what's in front of him. 1:10 left to go to get a touchdown. A field goal is not going to cut it anymore. 6 points, 7 points would be wonders for Fort Worth to potentially get them into the next round as the kick is away and brought up to the 30-yard line. Coming up on the SFL postgame update, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will analyze this matchup between Fort Worth and Vancouver and hand out game balls and preview tomorrow's quarterfinal action on For the Fans. It's all coming up on the SFL postgame update. As the viewers watching on Next Level Sports and watching on For the Fans Twitch have been greeted with a great game here from Canada Field. Throwing it to Jason Williams out of the backfield, breaking out of a tackle, but then he's going to be hit and stood up. Pickup of 9 on the play, and a tackle on the play by Dean Maddox.
If they run something like that again, he needs to get in a bounce.
2nd and 1. Curtis will fire it to Comisek coming out of the backfield, and no gain on the play. Going to be 3rd and 1 upcoming, but gets out of bounds with 45 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Of course, you want to have the first down, but if you have to pick one, is at least stop the clock. It's 45 seconds. Fort Worth needs, obviously, a touchdown. A field goal doesn't do the trick.
The number 4 team taking on the number 5. Vancouver looking to seal the win. 3rd and 1. Curtis will fire it out, batted up in the air. Ill-advised pass, but it falls incomplete. 1 play remaining for the Fort Worth Toros season.
Yeah, the important thing now it's on 4th and 1 is get a first down, of course. You can do whatever you want here, just get a first down. You can hurry up, back into the line, and spike the ball. But just worry about getting 1 yard. You can even run the ball, that's fine. Just get that yard.
1 yard is all they need to keep their season alive for the foreseeable future for at least this 4th quarter of play. Curtis dropping back, looking to the side, batted up in the air, incomplete! Vancouver will move on to the SFL semifinals next week.
Yeah, great play, great defensive play by Vancouver. Back-to-back tremendous stops on the out route as Curtis tried to put it into Kate Stevens' hands, the former Legion player, and he gets denied by his former team.
Murray hasn't had an interception to his name, but has had a lot of pass deflection in this one and comes up big. And there's still 38 seconds left, but with a couple of knees, Vancouver will move on to the SF, barring any miracle that we might see from the Fort Worth Toros. Vancouver moving on next week, and they have to wait to see where they're going to go. Are they going to be at home if Arizona wins? Or Are they going to have to travel to Denver and two really good friends, and Andy Hamilton and Jeremy Vega, facing off against each other? As you take a look at next week action, what could potentially be, as you got Baltimore moving on that we know of, and they got to wait to see what happens as well in that Florida matchup. But man, this was a good one, Ramos, and I know with 7 seconds remaining as the clock is ticking, they don't have to take another snap here. But if you Fort Worth, you just got to feel for them, and they had the opportunities, just couldn't take advantage of them.
Yeah, for sure. And they had a pretty good game plan, especially in the second half. They were able to basically shut down the Legion offense, which is very hard to do. But just a couple of clutch plays on that last drive by the Legion, taking 3 minutes off the clock with a few first downs, and that was it.
And really, when you take a look at those numbers, it seems kind of counterintuitive, because the second half of play was pretty much all Fort Worth. It's just they just couldn't get that 2-point conversion that they needed to tie this game up. But more importantly, they just couldn't get the stops when they needed to and take advantage of the 5 turnovers from Tom Pepper. And maybe it could have been more with all the tips that we saw.
Yeah, it really could have. But as you see, one of those tips, it was a pretty crazy play. The tight end was not ready for it. But, it's crazy how he was throwing interceptions left and right, Tom Pepper was, and Vancouver still found a way to win this game.
Yeah, only 228 yards for Cameron Curtis, 290 for Tom Pepper, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Kendra Hall leading all receivers with 106 yards on 5 receptions, had 13 targets in this matchup. Meanwhile, Stephen Hacker, 5 receptions for 103 yards and a touchdown. Kendra Hall, had 2 touchdowns as well. Killian doing just what he always does, but he only had 1 target, and it was an incompletion in the second half. Kendra Hall wasn't even targeted the whole second half.
Yeah, I know she wasn't, and Brett Killian again, only 1 target. That was an incomplete pass, and despite all of that, because of the tremendous first half that Vancouver had on offense, they were able to win this game.
As Kendra Hall is the player of the game in this SFL quarterfinal matchup. And on behalf of my analyst, Ramos Lynn, Mark Lopez on stats, and executive producer Cameron Irvine, I'm Jeff Melanishin, and this has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League. Once again, Vancouver moving on to the SFL semis next week. And after a quick timeout, we'll send you back to SFL Studios for analysis and what's coming up tomorrow in SFL action. Stay tuned. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
What a day here in the SFL. We're here for the post-game update. Mike St. Green, Cameron Irvine. Vancouver scores 28 of their 31 points in the game in one quarter. In the second quarter, they were blanked in the second half until that late field goal. But, Mike, they held on. Their defensive front was incredible. Farnsey was incredible. The defense picked the offense up after the offense exploded there in the second quarter.
Yeah, Cam, basically Vancouver out Fort Worth in this game.
Yes.
Gerald Judy says he had a great game, 2.5 sacks. What did he have, Cam? Several tackles for loss. Just a great game by this team. Ashley Rose Finch, I don't want to leave her out. She had a big interception in the first half. But, let's give Fort Worth some credit as well. As you mentioned, they gave up 28 of the 31 points in the second quarter. And the second half, all we were mentioning was how Vancouver hadn't had a first down. I think the first first down in the second half was very, very late in the third quarter, and that was their fourth possession of the half. So, Delaney Nash had a big second half. Fort Worth did get Robert Garrett Jr. going, but then going back to the Vancouver side, man, they held Jason Williams totally in check. Only 25 yards rushing, and he was pretty much non-existent in this game.
Yeah, we didn't see a single running back today get over 100 yards rushing. Maybe we'll get that tomorrow with DJ Moses, Jared McChesney, Bullet Boletsky, and Scott Johnson in action. Hard to believe we won't, as Vegas takes on Florida. Kickoff at 12:30 Eastern. 2 games, but Mike, in about a minute 15 seconds, what are you looking forward to most out of these 2 matchups?
I'll tell you what, Cam, this Las Vegas and Florida matchup is going to be amazing. Vegas coming in as one of the hottest teams in the league right now, and Florida are red hot as well. I mean, they wouldn't be in the position that they're in if they weren't. I'm just looking to see how this Vegas offense can match up against this Florida Storm defense and see if they can slow that high-powered offense down. In that second game, we're going to look for more of the same, right? Ashley Jackson, second in yardage and passing yards in the SFL this season. Big play receivers in James and Donnie Hands, and Denver with the MVP candidate and Jared McChesney. We'll see how these 2 offensive teams match up and see what strategies they deploy on defense to slow one another down.
Ari Mills and J.W. Doyle, fullbacks are people too. They're also part of the top 2 seats playing tomorrow. So if Florida wins, they will host Baltimore. Vegas wins, they will go to Baltimore. If Denver wins, they will host Vancouver. And if Arizona wins, the Scorpions will head to Canada for the semifinals. We're on For the Fans tomorrow. We'll see you then, 12:30 Eastern. But for now, this has been the SFL on Next Level Sports. For Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. Good night.